And I welcome you once again to our second Owop lessons for grade 3. Once again, I'm your facilitator, SK Siedu. Our strand for today is the same, our nation, Ghana, and our sub-strand being power and authority. Power and authority. First of all, we would, by the end of the lesson, get to know what power means, what it means to obey the laws and the orders in a society, the difference between law and order, and then also demonstrate respect for symbols of authority. Good. We will then ask ourselves, what is order? Order. Order simply means the situation in which people obey laws, rules, and regulations that exist in any community. As you all know, every community has its own stipulated regulations, laws, or things that guides the people within the community. So once again, we say that order, whenever you hear order, it means the situation in which people obey laws, rules, and regulations that exist in that community. Have you ever been to the law court before? You may not have any experience, but over there, you will hear someone shouting, "By order." What does that mean? By order means people must conform to the acceptable standards. There are always acceptable standards everywhere you go. Very good. Now let's talk about laws. What then are laws? We say laws are rules that people are expected to obey in the community. As we all know, every community has its own rules and regulations or policies that guide the people. And laws are stipulated to help people live to expectation in every community. Now, let's see the difference between law and order. Law and order. We say that the situation where people obey laws and authority in the community has a lot to do with the difference between law and order. Laws are needed by every community to control the daily activities of people. But as we already know, order is the very situation in which people are expected to obey the laws and then the regulations. Now, let's talk about institutions that are responsible for maintaining law and order in our societies. What are those institutions and what are they supposed to do? First of all, we'll talk about law enforcement agencies. So, we have the first one is the Ghana Police Service. The Ghana Police Service. Who are they and what do they do? You may be afraid of the police. You'd like to know what they are supposed to do. The Ghana Police Service is the body or institution set up by the government to ensure that we obey the laws of this country. So they are there as a service to enforce law and order. How do they enforce law and order? The police is expected to maintain peace in the society. Therefore, the government empowers them with weapons. They do not shoot at citizens. They only use the weapons to ensure that there are laws and order being enforced The police service has specific responsibilities, which I'm going to mention few of them. First of all, it is the responsibility of the police to arrest criminals. Arrest criminals. Anybody that commits any act which is a crime is supposed to be arrested by the police. The police service is also supposed to direct traffic. To direct traffic. Whenever you are coming to school, there is the need of a policeman to ensure that people drive in and out of our roads carefully. They also see to it that school children are able to cross the road at the zebra crossing without being knocked down by cars. The third duty of the police is to ensure that there is peace, public peace, and not chaos or disturbance. So they must ensure that there is public peace. People don't go about disturbing others in the society. That is the duty of the police. The police must also assist people or strangers when they are in need. They are supposed to provide assistance for strangers. People may travel from one place to the other. The police is also expected to assist strangers who are always going in and out of the country in different places. You may be a stranger elsewhere, but when you can't find your way out, you must go to the police station for direction. So the police is there to assist strangers. Last but not the least, the police service has the CID department, which is the Criminal Investigation Department, who are responsible for detecting crimes. Criminal Investigation Department of the police, who are responsible for detecting crimes. Any criminal activity that goes on in the community is detected by the special CID officers, all in the Ghana Police Service. Now let's talk about other law enforcement agencies. The next one is the armed forces. The armed forces. I would like you to pay very good attention to this. Most of the time, we are confused when we talk of the armed forces. The armed forces comprises of the Ghana Army, the Ghana Air Force, and the Ghana Navy. Let's briefly look at what each of them do. Each of these services are identified by uniform. The Ghana Army has its own uniform, the Ghana Air Force have their uniform, and the Ghana Navy equally have their unique uniform. Ceremonially, the Army has a different uniform, which is the red top and the black down, as you can see, during occasions like the 6th of March. And then the Air Force also has their uniform, which is the blue-black or the air blue. And then the Navy has their ceremonial white and white uniform. They all have their service chiefs. So for the Army, their service chief is called the Chief of Army Staff. That of the Air Force is called the Chief of Air Staff. And that of the Navy is called the Chief of Naval Staff. All these service chiefs have their superior, who is called the Chief of Defense Staff. And their headquarters is the Ministry of Defense at the Burma camp in Accra. Now let's talk about what each of them do. The Air Force, the Army, and then the Navy. First of all, the Navy protects Ghana's territorial boundaries. Talking about our oceans, they protect us with weapons. The Air Force protects us on the air. Talking about anything that goes on in the air. And then the Army protects us on land. In Ghana, we have different Army battalions in all the regions. The Air Force, we have Air Force in Accra and Air Force in Tamale and in Takoradi. For the Navy, we have the Western Naval Command in 2nd D and the Eastern Naval Command in Tema. This is about the armed forces. Now let's talk about the Custom, Excise and Preventive Service, simply called the CEPS, Custom, Excise and Preventive Service. They are supposed to prevent any unauthorized goods and services that comes into the country, the Customs, Excise and Preventive Service, simply called the CEPS. It's not exercise, it's Custom, Excise and Preventive Service. Simply called CEPS, CEPS. They are supposed to make sure that illegal goods are not brought into the country and out of the country. They are also expected to collect what we call duty for the country. The next law enforcement agency is the Ghana Immigration Service. Immigration Service. The Immigration Service have their core mandate to see to it that people enter and leave the country their core mandate is to ensure that people enter and leave the country, import and export by obeying the laws of the country. Therefore, they take care of our traveling documents, our passports. They ensure that they inspect every member who wants to leave the country and grant them the permit to either leave or enter the country. So the Immigration Service see to the endorsement of our passport. And they are also expected to ensure that people who come into the country do the right thing. The last one we'll talk about is the Fire Service, the Ghana National Fire Service. We all know there are occasions where fire outbreak occurs. And whenever there is fire outbreak, it is the duty of the Ghana National Fire Service to ensure that this fire is quenched. Ghana National Fire Service. They also have their unique uniform. At the moment, we will talk about briefly the law enforcement agencies and then the other local authorities. The court, the law court. We always hear of people going to the court, and it is one of the major places we can visit whenever you want to enforce the laws of the land. We have various levels of the court system in Ghana, which are the Supreme Courts, the Court of Appeal, the High Court, the Circuit Court, and the Magistrate Court. These are the structures of the court system in Ghana. Now, the other places where law is enforced is the Traditional Council. The Traditional Council. which is made up of our traditional rulers, the kings and their elders. They have the duty to ensure that law and order is enforced in the country. So you can also go there whenever you have any problem in their community. They have the mandate to ensure that law and order is maintained. I'll be glad if you will take a break and then examine what we have learned so far by trying your hands on the exercises I've provided. You have been able to establish the fact that there are laws in our country and there are also rules and regulations that is expected of you to live in your community. I hope you will be able to answer any question that is posed to you as far as power and authority is concerned. You know the structures, you know the various law enforcement agencies, and you know what they do. You know what is expected of you to live in a community as a peaceful and a good citizen of our nation, Ghana. Till we meet again, I will say, stay safe. Bye-bye.